instead of decisions. They're letting fear, doubt, and laziness steal the time that could be spent building a better future. If something is important to you, you will find the time for it. If you don't, you will find an excuse. The clock is always ticking, and every second that passes is a second you will never get back. Faith is the foundation of every great achievement. Without faith, doubt takes over, and doubt is the enemy of progress. Too many people talk themselves out of their dreams before they even start because they don't believe in what's possible. They look at their circumstances, their past failures, their fears, and they convince themselves that success isn't meant for them. But faith works the opposite way. Faith looks at the same circumstances and says, I don't know how, but I know it's going to happen. Faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting the process, even when the outcome isn't clear. It's about stepping out before you see the whole staircase. Some of the most successful people in the world didn't start with certainty. They started with belief. They believed in their vision, in their abilities, and in the idea that if they kept pushing forward, doors would open. And that's exactly what happened. Faith moves things that doubt never will. It makes you take action when logic says you should wait. It makes you keep going when everything tells you to stop. The problem is most people operate in fear instead of faith. Fear makes you hesitate. It makes you second guess yourself. It makes you settle for less than what you're capable of. Fear is comfortable because it doesn't require risk, but it also doesn't lead to growth. Faith, on the other hand, stretches you. It makes you bet on yourself when no one else will. It makes you step into rooms where you feel unqualified, start businesses when you don't have all the knowledge, and chase dreams that seem out of reach. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones with the perfect plan. They're the ones who have the courage to move forward even when they don't have all the answers. They trust that the right people, the right opportunities, and the right moments will come if they just keep showing up. Faith gives you the strength to take the first step, the second step, and every step after that, even when you don't see the full picture. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can always make more money, you can rebuild relationships, you can even start over in life, but you will never be able to reclaim lost time. Yes, so many people treat time like it's unlimited, like they have an endless supply to waste on things that don't matter. They wake up every day, go through the motions, and tell themselves that they'll get serious tomorrow. But how many tomorrows have already passed? How many dreams have been put on hold because someone kept believing they had more time? The truth is, you don't have a time problem, you have a priority. Everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day, but not everyone uses them the same way. Some people spend their time making moves, while others spend it making excuses. Some people use their time to grow, learn, and improve, while others waste it watching TV, scrolling through social media, or waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Success is not about who has the most time. It's about who makes the most of the time they have. Too many people complain that they don't have time to go after their dreams. But the reality is they're filling their days with distractions instead of decisions. They say they don't have time to work on their goals, but they have time to binge watch a whole season of a TV show. They say they don't have time to build a business, but they spend hours on social media watching other people succeed. Time isn't slipping away because life is unfair, it's slipping away because they're not taking control of it. Every day you waste is a day you'll never get back. Time is not waiting for you to be ready. It keeps moving, whether you use it wisely or not. The difference between people who achieve their dreams and those who don't is not luck or talent, it's how they choose to spend their time. If you don't value your time, no one else will. If you don't take control of your schedule, distractions will. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they need to have everything figured out before they start. They believe they need the perfect plan, the perfect timing, and the perfect circumstances before taking action. But success doesn't work that way. It's not about knowing every step before you begin. It's about having the courage to take the first step, even when you don't have all the answers. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't isn't intelligence, luck, or resources. It's the willingness to move forward despite uncertainty. Too many people stand at the starting line waiting for some magical sign that tells them it's time to begin. They keep saying, one day I'll do it. But that one day never comes because fear and doubt always find a way to creep in. The truth is you will never feel 100% ready. There will always be reasons to hesitate, but the only way to get anywhere is to start moving. Taking one step, no matter how small, creates momentum. And momentum is what separates dreamers from doers. Think about it. When you take that first step, you start to build confidence. You start to realize that maybe this thing you've been putting off isn't as impossible as you thought. Each step you take makes the next one easier. Before you know it, you're further along than you ever imagined, all because you stopped waiting and started doing. Even if the first step is messy, even if you don't get it right, even if you stumble along the way, you're still further ahead than the person who never started. Every major success story begins with a single decision to take action. No one starts out as an expert. No one has it all figured out from day one. The key is to start where you are with what you have and trust that everything else will come together as you go. Progress isn't about taking giant leaps overnight. It's about taking consistent steps forward, no matter how small. The first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most important.